On to this now. Eskom's bid for an urgent tariff increase has been rejected. The High Court in Pretoria ruled that the utilities application is not urgent and that the merits of the case will be reviewed. While Eskom wants to increase tariffs by 16.6% from April this year and 16.7% next year. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by energy expert Lungile Mashele. She is in our Cape Town studios. Ms. Mashele, a very good morning to you. Thanks for your time. So this is merely about whether or not this case was urgent. The merits, were they really dealt with or not?
Good morning, Loli, to both you and your viewers. So, in terms of the urgency of this application, I was surprised that the judge had dismissed it, given that Eskom has up until the 15th of March to actually submit the application for the new financial year. So that basically gives Eskom the next 30 days odd to get their act together with NERSA and be able to submit the application that will be heard alongside the current NERSA process, NYPD process that they're currently undergoing. And it's important to remember that the tariff actually feeds into the budgeting processes as well as in the municipal structure as well.
So the impact, therefore, of this court decision on Eskom, you and I, when we spoke the last time, we spoke about the solvency issues that Eskom currently faces.
Absolutely. What is critical, and this is why the urgency thing was there, if Eskom does not get in the application by the 15th of March, it basically means that they need to wait till the next cycle, which would then find it in 2021. And it would basically mean that it would lose out on revenue that it desperately needs in this financial year.
Well, but the other side of the coin is that we, as the consumers, would much rather have Eskom dismissed in court because this is going to impact heavily on us.
Absolutely. As a consumer of electricity myself having to pay, obviously I would much rather push the ball down the road for as long as I can. However, what is very tricky in this case is that Eskom is allowed this revenue. This was an equity injection that was supposed to come into Eskom's books and has been treated as revenue. And as such, it then forms an accounting irregularity, which the courts have actually have said as well. So it becomes tricky in that there's the sustainability of Eskom on the one side, but also there's the consumer on the other side. And both these parties, some middle ground has to be sought.
Lungile, I can't help but think of the finance minister at a time like this. He, in February, is going to table his budget speech. Eskom is probably the biggest headache he has. Surely he would have wanted some kind of conclusion on this matter. What does he do?
Most definitely, and this is why there's some rumors, questions around it that. Is the judge possibly saying that let's push the ball down and let's see what the minister does in his budgeting process? Do we bail Eskom out again? What do we do? But ultimately this is why we are where we are now, because there was a determination to assist Eskom over the next 3 years with 69 billion. And because this was never finalized, we're in courts now. So, I mean, ultimately, the next 30-odd days are critical both for Eskom, NERSA and the consumer.
Final question to you, and I'm going to ask you to really be speculative here. What do you think is going to happen in the next few days, particularly in respect of those pension funds that are mooted to possibly go and settle half of the Eskom debt?
That's been a very interesting one because we all know that pension funds, even DFIs, have to go out there and make money, invest in assets that have a return, that have a high IRR. And I'm not entirely sure if there is money that's sitting around in this country that's willing to be patient for the next 10, 20 years, and over and above that, that is willing to be cheap as well. I don't even think that we've got cheap money. So it's a very interesting time in terms of what was proposed and in terms of how it will actually be implemented as well.
All right. Lungile Mashela, she is an energy expert. Thank you very much for your insights. She is in our Cape Town studios.